tonight's top stories. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. visits an egg processing plant in Batangas that would help the country achieve food security. The pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila or PLM bestows the highest honor to the leader of the land who served as guest of honor in the school's commencement exercise. A recent survey shows that majority of Filipinos want the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte to continue. Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon inspects Balintawak in Quezon City to get an idea on how to better address the perennial flooding problem in the area. All these and more on PTV News Tonight. Good evening. Welcome to PTV News Tonight. The president vowed his government will not stop to improve farmer income and uplift their lives by keeping less middlemen present in the farm-to-market distribution chain. An assurance he reiterated in an ad hoc media encounter at the Batangas Egg Producers Multi-Purpose Cooperative Facility, where he delighted over a processing technology that extends the shelf life of eggs beyond its raw form, thereby eliminating waste and profit loss, as our Clazel Pardilia reports.
3 million eggs used to go to waste at this cooperative in San Jose, Batangas. But with the help of an egg processing facility and technology provided by the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Science and Technology, those eggs that could not be sold due to oversupply and were simply thrown away are now being put to good use. The eggs are now being turned into pasteurized and powdered egg. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. witnessed the process during his visit to the facility.
Walang nasasayang dito, walang tinatapon. And so not only is this a good example of what can be done when many agencies of government are working together, working hand in hand, but also when we develop the proper technology, how we can in fact put up what is referred to as a circular business.
The DOST said fresh eggs have a shelf life of only 2 weeks. They are also easily broken, but powdered eggs do not require as much care during transport. It can also last for up to 2 years.
Pwede pang magamit ito sa disaster, operation, school feeding, at iba pang mga aktibidad na kailangang magpakain sa ating mga kababayan.
The cooperative's additional income is expected to reach more than 18 million pesos thanks to the eggs that are now being saved.
Dati, maliliit lang na poultry, pero dahil nga po sa katagalan sa na processing plant ng Pepco, lumago po ng lumago at mas marami pong employment yung naidulot nito. Mas maraming pamilya na tulungan.
But what could this mean for supply and prices of egg?
More eggs or more products na masasave natin, it's better for our food security needs. At masastore na natin for kung kailangan. Less wastage talaga means lower cost din. Pati production cost natin bababa if we can save it.
The cooperative is now selling its pasteurized and powdered eggs to manufacturers, hotels, and restaurants. The products are also being used in training facilities partnered with TESDA, which provide free training to those who want to enter in the food business.
Instead of using yung fresh egg, ang ginagamit na po namin in baking, yun na pong product ng Pepco. Yung innovation ng Pepco, sinabayan namin para ma-educate yung ating mga kababayan na pwede pala yung pasteurized at saka yung powdered egg in our daily use, kahit sa bahay or kahit sa negosyo.
The company and TESDA have already provided free scholarships to more than 300 students. Ariel is one of the beneficiaries. From working in a call center, he is now a trainer in the use of processed eggs and is also planning to start his own business.
Nagkaroon po tayo ng oportunidad na maging trainer po. Makapag-share din po ng knowledge sa and wisdom po sa mga beneficiaries po ng ating government scholarship.
Eggs are not just a source of affordable protein. They also provide livelihoods for a better and more prosperous future. Clazel Pardilia for the Nation.
The president touted his government's programs and unrelenting efforts to improve the nation's education system and quality of learning. Among others, in his commencement speech for the graduates of the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, which conferred on him earlier today the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa for his pursuit in improving the economy, education, achieving social justice, and better health care for Filipinos. Our Kenneth Pasyente has more.
Hassan graduated today with a degree in nursing after 4 years of perseverance. But beyond his determination, the Tulong Dunong Scholarship from CHED also provided him with much-needed support, through which he received 7,500 pesos every semester.
Sobrang laking tulong niya po para sa akin since single mother po yung mom ko. And yung course ko po is sobrang magastos po kasi nag-clinical duty kami. So bali yung stipend po na yun, nagamit ko po siya para po maraos ko po yung mga clinical duty ko po, yung mga return demonstration, tsaka yung mga ibang gastos po throughout my college years.
He was one of the more than 500 graduates at the commencement exercises of the Pamantasan ng Lungsod, Maynila today, led by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. In his speech, the President urged the graduates to become instruments of positive change and contribute to the society.
May your learning be guided by wisdom, your success measured by the lives that you uplift, and your achievements dedicated to the progress of our nation. Wherever life takes you, remain true to the ideals of this university. Use what you have learned to help build a stronger, more prosperous, and more compassionate Philippines.
He also highlighted government programs aimed at strengthening tertiary education in the country, including the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Program, the expansion of the Free Higher Education Initiative, the Tertiary Education Subsidy, and the Tulong Dunong Program. He also cited the Bagong Pilipinas Merit Scholarship Program and efforts to strengthen technical vocational education and training.
Ito ang tunay na bunga ng edukasyon, mas abot kamay, dekalidad at nagbibigay sa bawat Pilipino ng pagkakataong makamit ang mas magandang kinabukasan.
Meanwhile, PLM conferred upon the President the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, the university's highest honorary degree. The honor recognizes his efforts to advance economic development, education, healthcare services, and social equity.
I receive this honor with gratitude, mindful of the responsibility that comes with it. This recognition affirms a principle that my administration shares with the PLM, that education must remain a pathway to opportunity, a catalyst for progress, and a cornerstone of nation building.
Kenneth Pasyente for the Nation.
A recent survey has revealed that more Filipinos are focused on the impeachment trial against Vice President Sara Duterte. This compared to the numbers in the earlier days of the proceedings in July. Elijah Canlas tells us the full report.
Despite various social issues erupting across the country, many Filipinos remain focused on the outcome of the impeachment trial against Vice President Sara Duterte. This was revealed in the latest non-commissioned study by Momentum Research regarding public perception on current national issues. Data shows that 70% of Filipinos are aware of and following the trial against the Vice President. This is a 2.2% increase from July data. Many also stated that VP Sara should personally attend the hearings. A total of 79% favored her attendance, while 15% said it is not important. Regarding awareness of the articles of impeachment, 38% reported knowledge of anomalous confidential and intelligence fund expenses. The assassination plot against the first couple and the former House Speaker followed at 15%. Bribery of DepEd employees ranked third at 13%, followed by unexplained and ill-gotten wealth at 7%. When asked which allegations were most believable, anomalous confidential and intelligence fund spending topped the survey at 28%. It was followed by the assassination plot against the president and his family and unexplained wealth. On whether the alleged misuse of confidential funds constitutes a betrayal of public trust, 79% agreed, while 21% said no. The survey was conducted from August 18 to 23, 2026, among 1,487 adult Filipinos nationwide. The organization clarified that the study was an independent initiative and was not funded or commissioned by any personality or institution.
The National Momentum Survey is our non-commissioned initiative. No? So it's not been funded by any sponsor, by any client, other than Momentum Research.
Experts note several factors influence public perception. These include news spreading on social media, which serves as a primary source of information for the public. Elijah Canlas for The Nation.
The Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, is eyeing the construction of a large water detention basin as a critical solution to address flooding problems across EDSA Balintawak, being a flood-prone area over the past years. J.M. Thompson tells us more.
Resident Mary Rose has grown old in this part of Balintawak, and according to her, the area where her small store is located has really been plagued by flooding yearly. So when the flood outside her store reaches knee-deep, her livelihood is affected.
Wala po talaga mga customer Walang makadaan, walang tao.
During the inspection of Public Works Secretary Vince Dizon at EDSA Balintawak in Quezon City today, DPWH sees a large detention basin as a critical solution to be built in front of the Andres Bonifacio Monument.
Ang maganda dito is pag natayo natin yon, is hindi lang natin maiibsan yung baha dito sa EDSA, kundi pati yung pababa, papuntang all the way to G. Araneta, mababawasan natin.
Malaking bagay na po sa inyo kasi hindi na bagay. Lahat po ng tao makakadaan na. Wala po kasi talaga makadaan dyan pag mataas ng tubig.
The project is expected to be completed before the next rainy season next year, once the right-of-way in the area is resolved. Secretary Dizon also expressed gratitude to North Luzon Expressway President Luis Reñon, as NLEX will partner with DPWH for the construction of the detention basin. Secretary Dizon also emphasized that aside from reducing flooding in the area, the detention basin will also help provide irrigation and water supply during the dry season.
Inutusan tayo ni PBBM na i-coordinate lahat ng mga detention basins na gagawin natin sa mga water concessionaires natin, yung Manila Water at Maynilad, para yung tubig na maiimbak natin, hindi naman masasayang at itatapon lang natin sa mga estero. Na kung pwede, papatulong tayo sa mga water concessionaires natin na kunin nila yung tubig na maiimbak natin para magamit for potable water.
Instead of discarding the collected water, water concessionaires will retrieve it, process it through several treatment plants, and supply clean water to various communities. The Secretary assures that the project aligns with the Drainage Master Plan of Quezon City. He also noted that the agency is now stricter regarding projects that communities truly need.
Wala na yung mga dating gawi sa budget. Napansin nyo naman, no? Talagang nanggaling yan sa baba, sa community. Kumpleto ang mga requirements dapat. Wala na yung project title lang tsaka cost. So hindi ngayon basta-basta na lang pipirma ang mga DE kasi may takot sila eh. Kasi nakapirma sila dyan. Pag yan may problema, papakita ko sa kanila yan. Papakita ko yan sa NBI o sa Ombudsman. Open and shut yan. Makukulong to mga DE na to.
DPWH continues to reassure that their programs and projects that provide relief to our countrymen remain uninterrupted in accordance with the directive of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. J.M. Thompson for The Nation.
The rains may have paused and floodwaters receded, but the work of the DSWD to provide relief and humanitarian assistance never rests. Our Carlo Candelaria hashes over DSWD numbers in the last several weeks of financial and relief assistance distribution and manpower deployment, plus the ongoing prep work for their next mission efforts, as we hear more in this story.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, continues to respond to families affected by the combined effects of the southwest monsoon and typhoons Maymay, Luis, and Neneng. Based on the agency's initial data, more than 2.2 million families in over 5,800 barangays across different parts of the country have been affected.
Initial data pa lang po to, SAS. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, ongoing pa po ang aming cross-validation with the local government units, lalo na po sa mga probinsya ng Bulacan, Bataan at saka Pampanga. Ang direktiba ni Secretary Rex Gatchalian, tiyakin na mabigyan po agad ng tulong.
Among those being prioritized by the DSWD are families whose homes have been damaged and whose livelihoods have been disrupted. Qualified beneficiaries may receive emergency cash transfer from the agency ranging from 5,000 to 25,000 pesos depending on their situation and needs. Meanwhile, the delivery of food and other basic necessities continues in evacuation centers and affected communities.
Merong mga sleeping kits, hygiene kits, maternity kits. Our disaster resource center in Pasay and in Cebu continue po nagpo-produce ng family food packs or nagre-repack.
In total, the DSWD has already provided humanitarian assistance worth more than 1.4 billion pesos. The agency is also replenishing its stockpiles at its production centers, including its standby funds to ensure that it can immediately respond to future needs. The assistance goes beyond food. Apart from non-food items, the DSWD is also ensuring the well-being of evacuees in evacuation centers through mental health services including psychological first aid as well as protection services for children and other vulnerable evacuees.
Trabaho ng DSWD ay agapayan yung ating mga local government units, i-train sa mga mental health and psychosocial support at tiyakin na may mga venues para ma-process po yung mga trauma, anxiety, depression, and yung nararanasang malulungkot na karanasan ng ating mga kababayan.
As the disaster response continues, the DSWD is also preparing measures such as cash for work and other forms of cash assistance to help affected families recover and get back on their feet following the tragedy. Carlo Candelaria for The Nation.
The UP Resilience NOAA Center assured that the 1 billion peso funding from the government will be used properly to help mitigate the impact of calamities in the country. During the press conference led by UP Resilience Institute Executive Director Alfredo Lagmay, they presented the projects where the fund will be allocated to. The institution said the funding will be utilized systematically for science-based flood management systems, disaster risk reduction, and climate resilience. Aside from science, Lagmay also pointed out the need to focus on the communicators, educators, and other sectors of the community. This to address natural disasters in the country with a holistic manner that would result in more appropriate solutions.
Even before we received the 1 billion, we've been working with DPWH, we've been working with MMDA. Kasi ganun po dapat. We anticipate kailangan natin mangyari kahit wala pang pera. So, ayun po. Kasi gusto natin talagang makatulong and we want the best for our kababayans.
Senate Finance Committee Chairperson Senator J.V. Ejercito vows any BICAM Conference Committee budget insertion will be blocked and thwarted to ensure complete transparency and accountability in enacting the 2027 GAB. A promise he declared in today's Development Budget Coordination Committee, or DBCC, briefing on the proposed 7.2 trillion general appropriations or national budget bill for next year. The full report and details from our Bernard Ferrer.
A people's budget focused on the needs of the Filipino people. This was the assurance given by Senate Committee on Finance Chairperson Senator J.V. Ejercito following the Development Budget Coordination Committee, or DBCC, briefing. Among the top priorities are health, education, food security, employment, security, and infrastructure.
Ang 2027 budget ay isang budget na tutugon sa pangunahing pangangailangan o basic needs ng ating mga kababayan, isang people's budget. This is where we fully agree with the budget message of President Bongbong Marcos. For when we invest in our people, we invest in the future of our nation.
Ejercito also assured that any last-minute insertions in the bicameral conference committee will be blocked to ensure transparency and accountability for every peso spent. The government recommended a 7.2 trillion pesos national budget for fiscal year 2027, which represents 21.7% of the country's gross domestic product, or GDP, and a 6% increase compared to the 2026 General Appropriations Act. The large portion of the budget increase is allocated to mandatory expenditures, such as a higher national tax allotment for local government units and salary increases for government workers and military personnel.
The 7.2 trillion peso budget before us, therefore, represents more than a spending ceiling. It is the product of months of rigorous review to ensure that we will meet the country's most urgent needs today without compromising our capacity to meet the challenges of tomorrow. The fiscal year 2027 national budget carries the theme, people-centered growth for an inclusive and resilient future, effectively capturing a simple but critical principle. Economic progress must ultimately be measured by how it improves the lives of Filipinos.
Underspending caused by issues in flood control is now being addressed through high-impact projects.
Implementing agencies will accelerate high-impact infrastructure projects through catch-up plans with clear milestones and accountability measures. This is essential to reverse underspending and restore public investment as a driver of growth.
Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP Governor Elil Remolona emphasized that the inflation was driven by rising global oil prices due to tensions in the Middle East. The country's banking system remains stable. Revenue collection continues to be strong, and PAC's Silica initiative could help boost the export sector.
As we continue to stay the course to meet our fiscal program for the year, as of June 2026, we have reached 49.7% of our full-year target. Despite global shocks and external pressures, tax collections reached 2.14 trillion pesos in the first half of the year, 5.4% higher than the same period last year. The Bureau of Customs, in particular, is on track to reach the 1 trillion peso mark in collections this year, 2026.
Increasing national savings was also highlighted as a key long-term solution. Bernard Ferrer for The Nation.
The Office of the Ombudsman is seeking contempt powers to strengthen its authority. According to Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla, this would give the agency more teeth, particularly in enforcing the subpoenas issued by the anti-graft body. He said enacting a law to support the Ombudsman would help reinforce the agency's powers and functions. Meanwhile, Remulla said the Ombudsman is conducting lifestyle checks on more than 100 government officials. And in other news, the palace has clarified there is no Facebook ban in the Philippines. This following recent statements that the administration is open to the possibility of putting up a ban on some social media platforms due to its negative impact on the youth. According to Palace Press Officer and PCO Undersecretary Claire Castro, there is no concrete decision yet as the government is still studying the measure. The officer highlighted Facebook's active coordination with authorities as a good sign for being responsive to particular concerns on taking down contents with fake news and violence. Castro also encouraged all social media platforms to work with the government in the fight against disinformation and violent content.
Ang huling impormasyong ibinigay po sa atin ay may mga pagkakataon na kapag kinakailangang i-take down ang isang post na nagpapakita ng karahasan, fake news, ay tumutugon naman ang Facebook. So magandang senyales po yan. Kasi para sa lahat na rin po ng mga social media platforms, maging tulong po kayo sa pamahalaan para maiwasan po natin yung mga bagay-bagay na hindi na po sana kumakalat pa dahil sa mga maling impormasyon o sobrang mararahas.
The Department of Economy, Planning and Development, or DepDev, has called for stronger, better coordinated government interventions after official data revealed that roughly 12% of Filipino households are multidimensionally poor. The statement follows the Philippine Statistics Authority's release of the country's first official multidimensional poverty index, or MPI. Unlike traditional income-based metrics, the MPI assesses the quality of life across 17 indicators, which are grouped into 4 dimensions dimensions: education, health and nutrition, housing, water and sanitation, and employment. DepDev Secretary Sentro Balita emphasized that poverty extends well beyond household income, adding that the MPI shows poverty is not just about what people earn, but also takes into account the accessibility of essential services for productive and dignified lives. He noted that the new index will allow the government to refine program targeting and optimize public investments. The Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA, also reported that all 18 regions in the country recorded a dip in poverty incidence among families from 2023 to 2025. The Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM, posted the most notable improvement, with its poverty incidence dropping from 26% to 12.8%, while the National Capital Region remained the least poor at 0.6%. Nationwide poverty incidence fell to a record low 9.7% in 2025, achieving the single-digit target of the Philippine Development Plan 3 years ahead of schedule. The latest data show that 6.5 million Filipinos were lifted out of poverty, bringing the number of people living below the poverty threshold down from 17.5 million in 2023 to 11 million in 2025. Meanwhile, the government plans to further reduce poverty, particularly in Mindanao, by intensifying the implementation of the Trabajo para sa Bayan plan to attract investments and create more jobs. In preps for the looming wet harvest period or season, the National Food Authority has scheduled some 37,000 metric tons of aging but quality well-milled rice, valued at 1.2 billion pesos, to go under the hammer to make space for the next grain inventory. But right now, only 65 million pesos of the aforementioned rice on sale has successfully been auctioned off under Phase 2 of the bidding. Hence, the NFA is left with few options, like negotiated auctions to speed up the clearance grain sale. In addition, the NFA is leasing out 65 of its warehouses for milling to make room for its targeted 500,000 metric ton procurement. In sum, all these steps taken by the NFA ensures a safe and sufficient supply of the nation's staple grain in the market, while keeping a competitive price for all farmers' yield or output. In the meantime, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, has partnered with Ayala Corporation to develop Terry, an AI-powered tax assistant designed to help personnel retrieve, cross-reference, and analyze official tax references more efficiently. The 6-month collaboration will allow Ayala to set up the system at no cost to the BIR, while employees participate in testing, validation, and knowledge transfer activities. The project will create a structured and searchable knowledge base that provides citation-based responses using official BIR references. BIR Commissioner Charlito Martin Mendoza said the AI tool will help personnel find and verify the right authorities faster, while the final judgment and responsibility will remain with BIR officials. The project supports the BIR's digital and data transformation efforts by combining technology with employee empowerment to improve the quality and speed of public service. For more stories that matter, stay tuned. This is PTV News Tonight. Don't go anywhere.
For our next food crawl.
Ngayon lang ako nakakita ng sandwich na may petals ng bulaklak.
Tara na sa another chibugan kasama ang certified foodie na si Joshua Garcia.
First time mo kakain ng ravioli kasi hindi ko siya kayang spellingin.
It's fun! Ngayong linggo, alas 10 ng umaga.
Hindi raw to baby pusit eh. Psst lang daw. Psst.
Wala yung joke mo. Dito lang sa PTV. Disaster Watch. Ang Pilipinas ay isa sa mga pinaka-disaster prone na bansa sa mundo. Kahandaan ang ating magiging lakas sa anumang banta. Ngayon pa lang, bumuo na ng emergency kit na kaagad mabibitbit. Gumawa ng evacuation plan at alamin ang pinakamalapit na evacuation center sa inyong lugar. Makiisa sa mga drill at disaster preparedness activities sa inyong barangay. maging mapagmatyag sa pagbabago ng panahon at makisama sa pag-aalaga ng kalikasan. Sa sama-sama nating pagkilos, mananatili tayong matatag laban sa kalamidad. Disaster Watch.
Makibahagi sa iba't ibang kwento ng mga Pilipino.
Dagdag pa napasanin ni Mang Carlo ang kanyang gamot o maintenance na halos mahigit 20,000 piso.
Lagi ako nagdadasal na sa bawat entabladong sasampahan ko, huwag niya akong pababayaan.
Makinig sa iba't ibang boses at pananaw.
Na hindi patas ang lipunan.
Leadership starts from the top.
Maging bukas sa iba't ibang perspektiba sa mga isyong pambayan.
Good governance, because good governance is a matter of right.
Tataka karamihan, paano nila nakukuha yung mga numbers?
Kanino ba talaga nag-umpisa yung mga problema na yan sa flood control projects?
At matuto sa iba't ibang karanasan.
Yung hirap talaga yung pag tumaas ang dagat. Yun ang hirap sa mga bata.
Ito ang mga premyado at award-winning na programa ng PTV Public Affairs. Kabahagi sa bawat buhay at kwento ng Pilipino.
It has come to the Chair's attention over time that public statements attributed to persons covered by the rules on impeachment, whether made in interviews or in social media, appear to concern the evidence, the credibility of witnesses, and issues pending before this court, which may fall within the prohibition under Rule 18 of this court. Although the immediate matter arose from statements and conduct involving respective counsel last August 12, it raises broader concerns affecting the impartiality, decorum, and integrity of the impeachment court. To the prosecution, the primary duty of a public prosecutor is not to convict, but to see to it that justice is done. This obligation governs not only the evidence and arguments presented before the court, but also counsel's conduct outside of it. To the respondent and her counsel, the corresponding duty of defense counsel is not to secure an acquittal at all costs. Counsel for respondent must faithfully protect their client's constitutional and procedural rights while remaining within the bounds of the law, ethics, and the lawful orders of this court. To my fellow senator judges, including this representation, more than convicting the guilty and acquitting the innocent, the business of this court is to assure fulfillment of the promise that justice shall be done and is done. And that is the only way for this court to obtain an acquittal from the bar of public opinion.
Narito na ang inyong mga tagapagbalita. Pagsapit ng tanghalian. Trixie, Jafar Chu, Jules Gia, at Angelique Lazo.
Tuwing tanghali, dito ang sentro ng kaganapan.
Sentro Balita, 1:00 ng hapon, mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Dito lang sa inyong People's Television.
GADWatch, Anti-Sexual Harassment Act.
Anti-Sexual Harassment Act. Ito ay nagde-declare ng all forms of sexual harassment na nangyayari sa loob ng workplace, sa mga training institutions, and of course sa educational institutions. Ito kasi yung nagdi-deal with yung power imbalance. It all depends on dun sa victim when she feels kung yung ginagawa na sa kanya is a form of sexual harassment. Like, it could be overt acts, physical acts, or it could also be verbal, and it could also include yung sa online and written. All of these are forms of sexual harassment. Our data on rape for 2024 ay nagkaroon tayo ng 7,751 cases. Sa Safe Spaces Act, meron tayong 793 cases, and then meron din po tayong 74 cases under the violation of Republic Act 7877. I would say na yung nagkaroon ng awareness yung mga tao, kaya nga siguro yung reporting is nag-improve, lalo-lalo na sa ating project, yung Aling Police Project. We have our 24/7 Aling Police Helpline sa Facebook page namin, or they can already go directly po sa pinakamalapit, may area of jurisdiction sa kanila, sa police station. You need to report immediately kung may nangyari na ganito. We will be there in 5 minutes. Ibig sabihin po nun ay magkakaroon po kami ng response agad as soon as natanggap namin yung inyong calls for assistance. And of course, aasikasuhin namin kayo so you don't have to worry about baka pagpasapasahan lang.
GadWatch.
There's no turning back, no ifs and buts in holding the first ever elections for legislative or parliamentary seats in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region for Muslim Mindanao next month. A declaration by the Philippine National Police for now as it keeps a firm hold on peace and security in the region, citing no foreseeable problems for potential troublemaking groups thus far. Orion Lesigas thrashes out the details.
The Philippine National Police or PNP has not identified any group or individual that may attempt to sabotage the first ever parliamentary election in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARMM. This comes just weeks before the election set for this month of September. According to Acting Public Information Office Chief Police Colonel Allen Reyco, the security deployment for the elections is now good to go. In fact, the PNP is reportedly 98% ready for the polls.
98% na nga po, tapos na tayo. Of course, we leave some room for some contingencies kung ano man may magbabago pong sitwasyon or kung ano may bagong pangyayari. And we have prepared all contingency plans for anything that might develop.
Despite this, the PNP assured that contingency measures are in place should anyone attempt to disrupt the election-related activities.
Kagaya po ng sinabi natin, we are prepared for any contingency. Meron po tayong mga contingency plans in place para for any threat. So, lahat po naman ng ganito, tinitignan natin kung if there are any threats or anything that will hinder the conduct of a peaceful election po. So, we are ready for any eventuality.
Yesterday, DILG Secretary John Vic Rimulya and PNP Chief Police General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. personally went to Maguindanao to inspect the security preparations. More than 9,000 police personnel will be deployed by the PNP for the BARMM elections. More than 4,000 of them will come from ProBar. The rest will serve as augmentation from various units and regional offices. The PNP also has more than 1,000 police personnel on standby who may serve as a special electoral board if needed.
Heightened alert po sila sa BARM and this could change kung depending on the situation as ma-assess po ng ating higher headquarters.
The first parliamentary election in BARMM is set to be held on September 14. Ryan Lesigas for The Nation.
The Philippines has extended its deepest condolences to all those affected in Nepal following the fatal flash flood yesterday. In a statement, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. expressed deepest sympathies for those who lost family, loved ones, and friends, and offered prayers for strength in this most difficult time. The palace first said there is no reported Filipino casualties from the devastating incident. The palace maintained that the use of pseudonyms of Filipino heroes during the revolution has a clear distinction to the alleged aliases that appeared from the acknowledgement receipts for the confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President or OVP. This comes after Senator Robin Padilla compared the aliases used by Filipino heroes with names such as Mary Grace Piatos and Dilim, Bagong and Pusa listed from the said ARs. Palace press officer and Undersecretary Claire Castro asserted that Filipino heroes use pseudonyms to conceal their identities while fighting for our country without asking for anything in return, highlighting that they are real, actual people. And another news, Senator Bam Aquino's comprehensive school safety bill, which seeks to set in stone DepEd student safety and welfare initiatives, has drawn DepEd Chief Sani Angara's full and unrequited support. The bill is also in line with the president's directive to keep classrooms and campus premises safe, in addition to a beefed-up security provided by the school's administration. The proposed piece of legislation has 3 pillars or tenets at its core: retreat or avoidance, response, and resilience. This notwithstanding campus security, emergency reaction, and mental health support. For his part, DepEd Secretary Sani Angara says the success of enforcing the act and sustaining it hinges on a whole of community effort that ensures its viability and/or success and perpetuity. Sustained dialogue, complete member cooperation, and good governance are key in maintaining regional peace and security, problem solving, and sustaining self-sufficiency. Hence, the country's desire and efforts to provide the platform for discussion and deliberations on key regional issues as chair of this year's ASEAN Summit and related meetings. Our Carlo Candelaria tells us more.
A platform to discuss regional peace, security, and governance while the Philippines holds the ASEAN chairship this year. This is the objective of holding the ASEAN Institute for Peace and Reconciliation University Tour at the Ateneo de Manila University. The Philippines' contributions to regional peace building were also discussed, particularly the Bangsamoro peace process. In his speech, Presidential Peace Advisor Melsanen Sarmiento stated that cooperation across various sectors is necessary to achieve lasting peace. He also highlighted the critical role of youth and academia in formulating solutions to emerging regional security threats.
Sustained dialogue, inclusive participation, responsive governance, and strong local leadership can transform conflict into opportunities for peace and development. And this is where the sharing of experiences and best practices becomes very important. Copying in school is a mortal sin, but in governance, copying best practices, especially programs that have proven effective, is not only allowed, it should be encouraged. Of course, we do not simply copy and paste. We learn from what works, understand why it works, adapt it to our own circumstances, and improve upon it.
Emerging challenges facing ASEAN were also discussed, such as cyber threats, disinformation, maritime disputes, and climate-related risks, alongside the Philippines sharing its experiences in localized peace building. Philippine Permanent Representative to ASEAN, Evangeline Jimenez Ducroc, reminded that addressing these challenges does not rest solely in the hands of governments and diplomats.
Peace building cannot be left only to governments and diplomats, especially as peace and security challenges are becoming very complex, from geopolitical tensions and maritime disputes, violent extremism, cyber threats, disinformation, climate insecurity, and social polarization. Addressing these challenges require not only political decisions, but also a knowledge of history, local conditions, all of which research, dialogue, and critical thinking can unpack.
Gab Humilde Villegas, for The Nation.
For more news and top stories, stick around.
Home is where your health journey begins. Huwag palampasin ang weekly health advice mula sa mga eksperto. Masasarap at masusustansyang recipe. Guided exercises to boost your fitness levels. Tips to keep our fur babies happy and healthy. At iba-ibang fun activities na perfect pang-bonding ng buong pamilya. Ito po si Nina Corpus. Samahan niyo kami tuwing Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga para sa simula ng healthier and happier lifestyle ng buong pamilya. Health at Home. Dito lang sa inyong People's Television.
Roadwatch, mga dapat tandaan tungkol sa No Contact Apprehension Policy ng MMDA. para maayos ang daloy ng trapiko at bawasan ang kontak sa pagitan ng mga motorista at enforcer. Muling ipinatutupad ang NCAP o No Contact Apprehension Policy sa mga pangunahing kalsada sa Metro Manila. Ang NCAP ay isang programa ng MMDA kung saan hinuhuli ang mga lumalabag sa batas trapiko gamit ang mga high-definition CCTV camera, digital camera, at iba pang gadget tulad ng speed gun at handheld video camera. Kapag may na-record na violation, ito ay i-review at i-validate at i-verify ang vehicle record sa LTO Information Query Facility. Ipapasok ang vehicle record sa NCAP system at mag-i-issue ng Notice of Violation. Ang Notice of Violation ay ipadadala sa rehistradong tirahan ng motorista sa pamamagitan ng postal mail. Ang multa ay maaaring bayaran online sa Land Bank Link Biz Portal o magsadya sa head office ng MMDA. Maaari ring iprotesta ang Notice of Violation sa online filing platform ng MMDA Traffic Adjudication Division gamit ang QR code o link. Kapag gustong i-check kung may violation ka, bisitahin lamang ang mayhulika.mmda.gov.ph. Roadwatch, hatid ng inyong PTV.
At your service, Pilipinas, ako si Asik Irene Dumlaon ng DSWD. Samahan niyo po kami para sa isang bagong Pilipinas ngayon, dito lang sa PTV.
More than 50 overseas Filipino workers or OFWs receive 15,000 pesos each in livelihood assistance to help them start small businesses in the Philippines. Meanwhile, the Department of Migrant Workers or DMW held the OFW Housing Fair 2026 on August 26, providing OFWs and their families with access to affordable housing, loan options, and other government services under the 4PH program. A total of 75 qualified beneficiaries received the livelihood assistance, including an OFW who plans to use the funds to start a small sari-sari store. The DMW said it will continue supporting returning OFWs through its reintegration program and the 4Ks, Kalinga, Kaagapay, Kabuhayan, and Kakayahan, to help them rebuild their livelihoods and lives in the Philippines. More than 100 workers received assistance under the Tulong Panghanap Buhay sa Ating Disadvantaged or Displaced Workers or TUPAD program, with many of them earning additional income while helping clean a school in Toril, Davao City. The Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE provides temporary employment through TUPAD to individuals who need additional livelihood support. In the Davao region, nearly 13,000 TUPAD beneficiaries were included in Brigada Eskwela for school year 2025 to 2026. With almost 71 million pesos allocated by DOLE 11. The program allows qualified beneficiaries to work for 10 to 90 days and receive wages based on the minimum wage in their area, with applications free of charge through authorized public employment offices. We'll now give you the latest buzz here at Pop Culture Corner. First up, Bruno Mars is bringing his The Romantic Tour to the Philippines for a two-night concert on May 2027. The Filipino-American Grammy-winning singer will perform at the Philippine Arena in Bulacan on May 15 and 16, 2027, with Anderson Paak as DJ Pee-wee and a special performance by Silk Sonic. The artist presale in Live Nation Philippines presale will run on September 11, while the general on sale will begin on September 14th at noon. Ticket prices and other details have yet to be announced, while Bruno Mars last performed in the Philippines in 2023 for a two-night show. James Reid has released his latest single, Sunnyside, featuring producer and artist Luke April. The alternative pop track, now available on digital streaming platforms, explores the feeling of freedom and being at ease with wherever life leads. Sunnyside is part of Reed's upcoming album, Honey, I'm Home, which is set to be released on September 10th. Meanwhile, Reed currently stars in the primetime series Someone Someday alongside Catherine Bernardo and Maha Salvador. In the meantime, Jang Dong-eun has announced that he will marry actress Kim Song-eun this October. The South Korean actor shared the news on Instagram, saying the couple will have a private wedding ceremony with their families in attendance. His agency, BH Entertainment, also confirmed the upcoming marriage, saying the couple will quietly hold the ceremony in October. Jang Dong-eun and Kim Song-eun have worked together on several projects, including the 2019 drama The Tale of Nokdu and films directed by Jang. The National University Bulldogs ruled the UAAP Esports 2026 Mobile Legends Bang Bang tournament after claiming the championship title. The NU Bulldogs were crowned champions after defeating the De La Salle University Aces 2-1 in the finals. The DLSU Aces settled for the silver medal, while Adamson University and the University of the Philippines share the bronze medals after their respective runs in the tournament. The result further highlights the rise of collegiate esports in the Philippines, with the UAAP continuing to provide a bigger platform for student athletes to compete in the growing sport. Former NBA MVP Derrick Rose got a taste of Filipino culture during his visit to the Philippines. During the Champions Circle Appreciation Dinner in Cebu on Tuesday, Rose joined locals in performing the traditional Filipino folk dance, Tinikling. Beyond the dance, the former NBA star also interacted with guests, posed for photos, and greeted Filipino fans. The moment gave Rose the opportunity to experience a piece of Filipino culture away from the basketball court. A low-pressure area was located 850 kilometers east of extreme northern Luzon. The LPA that has formed within the Philippine Area of Responsibility may develop into a tropical cyclone. If it strengthens into a typhoon, it will be named Pilandok. The weather disturbance is not expected to approach or cross the country's landmass. However, Pag-asa has warned that it may strengthen the southwest monsoon or habagat again this long weekend. With this, Benguet, La Union, Pangasinan, Zambales, Bataan, and Occidental Mindoro may experience occasional rains with possible flash floods and landslides due to moderate to heavy rains. Metro Manila, the rest of Luzon, Western Visayas, and the Negros Island region may have cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. The rest of the country may experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. The public is reminded to remain alert and exercise extra caution against possible flash floods and landslides, especially during heavy rains, thunderstorms, and sudden bursts of rainfall. And before we end our newscast, please do take the time to like, subscribe, or share PTV's social media pages flashing on your screen right now. It would go a long way and we would truly appreciate it. And so goes PTV News Tonight's roundup of tomorrow's headline stories. I'm Sharms Espina. Join us again tomorrow on PTV News Tonight.